We are back and continuing our discussion about sexual fluidity. Joining us now is Nico Tortorella.
Hi.
Now, Nico, you're very open about being fluid when it comes to sexuality and gender. Yeah. Why is having this conversation important?
Well, I mean, I just realized really quickly that I'm a seeker of truth and a lover of love, and I'm just fascinated by different expressions of love and how people find each other, and more importantly, like, why people fight love. There are so many people across the country or across the world that fight, you know, specific types of love.
Bisexuality is suddenly becoming, acceptable, even in the gay community, I think, right?
I mean,
Dan Savage, the gay guru, he basically was sort of thinking it was not a real...
Is there a guru of gay?
Well, he is.
There's a few gurus.
How do I not know about him? Okay.
Dan Savage has, a whole podcast and columns about this, etc. There used to be a joke. I'm bisexual. I like gay men and straight men.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, it's becoming more acceptable now, I think, in the gay community. Am I right?
Yeah, we still have a lot of work to do. I think the most flack that I get and other bisexual friends that I have get is actually from inside of the community and not from straight people.
Okay, so I'm very confused.
Yeah, give it to me. Let's go.
I'm very confused. I don't understand the woman that said, I'm bisexual, so I like to... No, I'm pansexual.
She's not a woman. She is they. She
They, them
doesn't.
pronouns.
She actually doesn't identify with a gender.
Or a pronoun.
Okay.
Thank you.
No pronouns? No pronoun is they.
But she talked about men and women in those terms, though.
Because that's the only way she can explain her sexual attraction. The only way they...
It's confusing.
I'm so confused.
This is the issue. This is the issue. I was just saying, when I was a kid, I was colored. Then I was a Negro. Then I was black. Then I was African American.
Yeah.
People need time to catch up to all the changes. Yeah. Everybody has to just chill out. These are really different times for lots of people, lots of folks, and they're discovering stuff and talking about stuff. So everybody has to understand, we're not going to get it right away. We're not going to get it right away.
Because it's not a judgment thing.
It's not a judgment. It's just trying to catch up.
And you don't want to offend. I don't want to
very
offend
much
anyone
so a
because
judgment thing.
I don't get it. Like, I don't want to offend anyone, but I don't understand.
Yeah.
Which part don't you get?
Well, they also...
I don't really get any of it.
They also help you because when you meet each of these individuals, they'll let you know if there's something that jumps out, or they'll correct you nicely. Abrina, I
will say they.
kept
You have to
referring
say
to her,
they.
and she just said, let me correct you real quickly.
Right.
So people are...
It's they because you like men and women.
No, it's not because of how she likes, it's how she identifies in her gender.
Her gender,
She's
gender
the one
expression, yes.
Who's the they?
We're talking about two things. Let's stay on sexuality because that's a
very
little
confusing
easier
very fast.
to stay focused. So we'll stay on the sexuality.
But
you have lots of
you ever
questions.
asked the question like if you had a gun to your head and you had to pick one, which one would you pick? Anybody ever ask you that?
Yes, but I don't look at gender as binary, as one or the other. I see the whole universe of gender.
Always
right?
when you were a kid too?
No, I mean, look, I'm not an expert on any of this. I'm learning all of this as I'm going. I'm like a student of the world right now, and I just think it's so fascinating.
But is there more than male and female?
Well, yes, absolutely. Yes. I mean, if you talk about intersex people, 1 in 2,000 babies are born...
Like a hermaphrodite. You can't say
the new word is intersex. It's okay.
Intersex.
If you look at those numbers...
I need a list.
I have one in my dressing room.
I need a list.
We do. You can look all of these things up on your phones very easily.
Well, but see, here's the thing. People don't say,
it's who you're
it's like
attracted
you
to.
don't know because you're going down the street and you're thinking about something and you think about it as you have been taught it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But there's nothing ever comes up on the phone says, ding, new word.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe there should be something that, that helps. Yeah. Because
People that
didn't
want
know
to be
intersex.
allies.
I want to know.
I want to be an ally, but I don't know how to be.
Well,
I don't understand all the
I understand.
ramifications.
Yeah.
Think of it like, people have evolved physically, from, caveman,
Right.
prehistoric, et cetera. So now people are evolving sexually. That seems to be what's going on, that there's an evolution going
And they
on
have been
of
thousands
gender
of
and
years.
sexuality.
In some
And
ways,
we
we
don't have all
squashed
the answers
we
yet.
squashed it and didn't allow it to exist because so many people couch it in sin.
Right.
So it was also something that was held back. It's been here forever.
Since the beginning of
Day
time.
one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Day one.
But in
Yes.
relationships, I would imagine that there's a little bit of jealousy, right? Because I'm married to a man, and I know who he's attracted to. So I know that nurse that he wants to hire, he probably shouldn't hire that nurse.
Oh.
Now, if
So you
I have
can't
to
control
worry,
him as
if I have to
easily.
worry about like people in a relationship with you, probably are like, oh,
Right, but like that's their own insecurity, and there is
Yes,
jealousy
it is.
in every single relationship across the board, no matter who you're in a relationship with.
but you could be in
Yeah, I remember having a conversation when I was in college with a friend of mine who happened to be a lesbian, and her asking me, could you ever date a woman? And me saying, well, I feel that you fall in love with people's souls.
Right, yes.
I feel that can manifest. And I said that on the show here. I do consider myself straight. I consider myself attracted to men, but that's not to say that a woman couldn't come along and me be attracted to something about her that changed my mind for that person.
Jedediah.
I firmly believe that.
But could you be
When I said that when I was in college to her, she didn't get it. And it's funny, we recently had a conversation where she said, I get it now. So is that what I said, is that more accepted now? Can people say that and have that more readily understood?
A woman
I'm sure,
sexually?
but the attraction comes from what comes inside.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
100% that could happen.
It doesn't
to me.
matter what's between
But
somebody's legs.
sometimes,
at the end of the day.
but sometimes it's just about the sex.
Right.
Yeah,
Sometimes
of
it's
course.
just about the sex. So sometimes it is just about what's between that person's legs. And sometimes, for me, I just feel like I don't want other people telling me what I am and who I am.
right.
But I also do not go in saying, this is me.
Right.
I just am. Because I feel like no one, when I say in my shows, why do you care who I'm sleeping with?
Right.
What does it do to you? What do you care how I live my life?
People like categories.
You know?
They want to
Yeah.
understand you and
Yeah.
process.
No, that's where the judgment comes from. I think that's a judgment
There's so
call.
many issues in this
Yeah.
country of people needing to mind their own business.
Would you
This is
prefer
one of
then
them.
no labels? I thought your generation was more the no label generation.
He's not as young as the group we spoke with.
Oh,
it's another decade.
I thought
Yeah.
your generation was no
goes close to
labels.
30.
So
There
that
is-
I call pansexual or bisexual or gay or lesbian.
Help you.
Yeah.
But see,
That's
I
part of
don't.
it.
I don't want to
don't-
say I don't care.
Well, but-
I don't judge
yeah.
that way.
Well,
like
yes.
you
There-
love who you love. I firmly believe that. But then why do you have the labels?
It is to help other people.
It's
So let me
And
go
to find
answer.
your tribes, I mean,
Find your
like,
tribes.
yeah,
Okay.
just
Yeah, like Jed just did.
I want to keep going, but you guys, we're getting the Oscar music off here. Thank you to all of the young adults who Nico and I talked to for being so brave. Our conversation about sexuality lasted almost 2 hours, so there's so much more to hear. Check out our website for an online exclusive clip, and you can see Nico on his show Younger Wednesday nights on TV Land, and check out his podcast, also amazing, The Love Bomb. We'll be right back.